So I've got enough going on, and I just want to take control of the other areas of my life as well as just keep buying hundreds of houses. I think, look, I'm 41 now, and I think in my mid-20s I was focused on the accolades, you know, the numbers of houses, the millionaire, the decamillionaire, the 100 million turnover, the 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand a month recurring income, and all, how many books you sell, how many downloads you've got for your podcast, how many subscribers you've got on your social media. But I'm less focused on accolades now, and I'm more focused on doing good work and being valuable to people and doing something meaningful.
That sounds fantastic. And that leads me really nicely on to the next question here from myself is, I know that you mentioned Dr. John Demartini as one of your mentors. I just wondered how many different mentors that you have, and also how do you find mentors now? Because as you go up, you know, you're a mentor to lots of people. And you know, as you grow and go up in your business and in your knowledge, is it harder to find other mentors?
So, yeah, I reference John's work a lot that I've learned from in many different guises, through his books, events, videos, etc. No, I don't think it's particularly hard to find a good mentor. I think you've just got to be clear what you want. Like if you knew you wanted to get fit, you'd be able to find a personal trainer pretty easily. But you've got to be clear, do you want to lose weight? Do you want to get more cardiovascular fitness? Do you want to be more healthy? Do you want to gain weight? Do you want to gain strength? Do you want to gain size? Because all those 5 different areas of fitness are actually a different outcome. They're a different goal. And then you go to the go-to person who you think can do that. So for me, I look at what do I want to learn? Is it sales, marketing, strategy? Is it balancing the mindset and the skill set? Is it transcendence to become maybe a greater leader or a human being with a greater capacity to deal with bigger challenges? Is it trying to improve my social media reach and engagement? Is it my podcast, my books, etc.? And then I'll just do a bit of research and find the go-to people in those spaces. I'll start following them. I'll pick off a few of them. I'll be like, oh, okay, you're not my style. Or, okay, maybe I'm exactly what I think I need. Maybe you don't have, or we're just not quite a fit. And then you'll have a few left, and then I reach out to them. So I am right now trying to put together a more official mentoring program, because I've had official mentoring from people. You know why I've paid them. I paid James Kahn to be a mentor of mine back in 2010. I've been on masterminds where there's 10 or 12 of you. But then I've also just really sort of obsessively followed some people and done their courses and listened to their books and got all their information. But right now I've got 2 different coach stroke mentors that I'm lining up to do another maybe year's program with. And Dr. John Demartini is one of them. I'm just trying to work out exactly what I need and then put the package together, i.e. what courses and one-to-ones and programs do I need? And then, of course, because I'm an entrepreneur and I love to do this, I've got to get the right deal, haven't I? So whether that's getting a bit of a lockdown COVID-19 discount or whether it is doing, a bit of an exchange of services. So, for example, Dr. John Demartini's got lots of books and I would love to publish all the audio versions. And I know I could help him sell hundreds of thousands of audio books. So I might try and put something creative together, only if there's value there, of course. And I have spoken to one other person who I may hire as he would be more of a coach per se. I'm always looking to level up. And so therefore, if I'm going to level up, I want someone where I need to level up is a level up. And usually for me, that's people in their 60s. It can be even in their 70s. But, I learn from all my podcast guests. I've just secured 3 billionaires to interview on my podcast in the last 2 weeks. So I'm obviously going to learn a lot from them. So really, I try to learn from everyone. But clear mentorship, I think, is vital when you're clear on what it is you want to work on and improve.
Yeah, no, that's really sound advice. I think, for anybody in life, especially in leadership as well. And to find somebody that has gone before you so that you can learn from their mistakes and learn quicker as well is fantastic. My first interaction with you, Rob, was through your book Money. Downloaded that on Audible and thoroughly enjoyed that, and have listened and read many more of your other books. And now I think, are you 15 or 16 published and another 3 or 4 coming along? Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm writing. I'm writing Residual Income, Opportunity, and Reinventing Yourself at the moment.
Excellent. And Izzy had a question on that one as well about books.
Are you planning on writing a book for children?
Yes, but not right now. I've probably got 20-ish book ideas, and I'd like to write one for children about finances, money, education on budgeting, money management, money emotions. The reason is so far I haven't written a book for children is because the difficulty with children is, age 0 to 6, well, it's just pictures. Age 6 to 8, 9, 10, it's a different stage. At your sort of age, it's a different stage. Then at 16, it's a different stage. When is a child not a child anymore? Is it 12, 14, 16, 18? So really, what I'm planning, I probably shouldn't say this because someone might borrow the idea, but you know what? I don't care because I just like to put things out there. But I sort of had this idea of writing a series of 4 or 5 books all around money for children, but at different stages and ages. So the first one might be 0 to 6, but that's written for the parents on activities and exercises and things the parent can do to teach the child at 0 to 6. And then 6 to 9, and then 9 to 12, and then 12 to 16, and writing a series of them. And you could almost get yourself like a box, and then you can fill them up with the books through the series. Or write one big book where each age stage is a big section of the book. So it's like 4 big sections. But, if you want to teach a 5-year-old about money, you play games. You get them to count. I used to get Bobby to count with golf balls. I used to give him incentives on the golf course when he was 3, 4, and 5 to win £1, £5, £10, £20 Krugerrands for hole-in-ones. And he knew more about money at 4 years old than some kids did at 6 and 7. But that's quite a project, Izzy. It's not one book, it's 4 books, and it's going to take a long time, and it's going to a bit more research than normal because a lot of the books I write are the knowledge I've built over the years. So really it's an outpouring of my own experience, but games and exercises and what works for children at what age, that would take a lot of research. So it's a bigger project.
Sounds good. So you look forward to reading those when they come out. Just a quick question here on qualities of leadership. And I know you like to have a number, so I'm going to ask you for your top 3 leadership qualities that you think all amazing leaders should have.
I think the first one is the culture or the environment in which you create. Are you creating a fear-based environment, or are you creating a trust-based environment? Are you creating an autonomous environment or a reliance on you? Are you creating a hierarchy, or are you creating a more horizontal structure? Are you creating a solution, autonomous-based culture, or are you creating a culture of can't do anything without checking in with you? So I'd say it's not necessarily in order, James, but I'd say that's one really big area of leadership. I think the next area, and I don't know if I could put it into one word, but I'll try. So I think you could say honesty, you could say trust, you could say vulnerability, but I think a leader has to be able to adapt to a situation and know when to admit their mistakes and flaws, know when to humbleize themselves, know when to step up and be defiant and confident and resilient, and gauge the situation accordingly. because I've found it in the years where I've been quite defiant, resilient, strong. I've had many years when I've been that, and maybe I've been that, or maybe I've shown that to the world. I realized afterwards I've created a persona in my team which actually wasn't real, and I didn't mean to. But I've had a couple of things that have happened in the last couple of years which have been difficult and challenging. And a few people have said, "Oh, Rob, you are human," or oh, Rob, I used to think you were all sorted in every area, and look what you've gone and done, or look what's happened. And I didn't, I don't tout myself to be some kind of Iron Man. But I realize if you are defiant and resilient and you show the world the best you keep your shape, that has a downside in that people then pedestalize you. And you only know sometimes you only know when you're pedestalized when you're de-pedestalized. So with my social media content, for example, what I try and do, and I actually do this, there's no try, that I just do this, is whatever's going on with me and whatever I'm trying to figure out and wherever I'm at, you'll get that on my social media. So if I'm winning at life and, sales and marketing are killing it and, things are just going really well and I'm confident and I'm on a roll and I've got momentum, that'll come through. And that's not bragging. That's just the stage. But if I'm having a bit of introspection and challenge and reevaluation and reinvention, which I do once a year anyway, James, then you're going to see that. And then if I'm struggling and I'm going through a hard time, you're going to see that. And every 15 years, at least, I'm going to go through that cycle once, or I might go through that cycle every year for 15 years. And that's humanity. That's evolution. That's seasons. And I think there can be this thing where you've got to be all vulnerable or you've got to, be defiant. I think honesty in your content and honesty in your leadership is about bringing you and who you are and bringing those phases and seasons with you and not hiding or pretending. And it's taken me many years to figure that out, James, because I would always have said things like, look, being consistent is really important, having a united front. But people can see when something is going on, but it doesn't quite add up with what you're saying. And people can see when you're spinning things or PRing something. So I don't know what word. It might be congruence. It might be integrity, authenticity. Those words I find a bit fluffy, but, being true to where you're at in the moment. So if anyone who's followed me for the last 3 years, in a way, you could be somewhat confused because you see me talk about a lot of successes and wins and things we've figured out and things we're doing well. And then you'll hear me talk about therapy and feeling a bit lost and lonely and, just trying to reevaluate what entrepreneurship and business means and who I am behind the accolades and everything that I've achieved, if you like. But that's just an honest journey of what's going on. So I think that's the second, important trait of leadership, because I think people like you to be human. They like to see you succeed when it's hard, but they like to see you be honest when, you're struggling as well. And then I think the third thing is probably how you treat people. So this is a challenging one because I realize in some situations, especially when things are hard for you, people will treat you how you treated them. But the challenge with business is you can't be friends with everyone. And sometimes you fall out with people. So I think how you treat people is probably whether it's consistency or with care or, with a desire to help them, or with fairness or with honesty, even when that's hard, like giving feedback when that person might struggle to take that feedback. Yeah. So how you treat people would be the third one.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I think you almost came up with 3 C's there. So culture, congruency, and care. In that kind of package. share. And I think I'd wrap it all up in just being real, and being real with what's going on in life, because 4 or 5 months ago, who would have known what was going to come in the whole world and upset the whole world with what's happened with COVID, and I've tried to be more real with my leadership